No, 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 no! We are not gonna do another illustration video, okay? Let me tell you the reason why. You'll see what I mean. Before that, I'm gonna show you all of these. Let's go for it. I can't believe I made that opening. Anyway, why am I back on camera? So, you know what? Let's just get into it. First one we got is something pretty obscure. You may remember this band called Pink Floyd, made an album called The Wall, made a film from MGM also called The Wall, did a tour called The Wall Tour. Well, there's this thing called the Pink Floyd Experience, and this was the poster. Yep, I literally got the poster, which is, I think, based off a Pulse, I think. Yeah, I think it's reminiscent of the Pulse album cover art thing I never got. I only more reminisced with The Wall, and there's like two versions of the wall image. There's like the white brick wall image thing there with the words Pink Floyd, The Wall on it, and you get the poster for the film, which is the screaming face done by Gerald Scarfe, which is in fact the cover of the VHS, it's on the cover of the DVD, until they changed it with the screaming face on the brick of the wall. I mean, we already get it somehow, but anyway, this poster is kind of obvious. I mean, it is the front cover of the album, as you can clearly see. But yeah, this is the cover of the album, right there on poster format. So there's that. That's the first thing. The next thing, we have a drink of some black. Of V, not to be confused with the TV series of V, or the original miniseries of V, or whatever the heck you want to call it, or the Maroon 5 album that has the track Shoot Love, My Heart Is Open, Maps, and Sex and Candy, and Feelings, which was released as a single, but the video was never released, despite the fact that it was filmed at the Playboy Mansion. Lost media there, but how about we get to see if we can put it to the test? Obviously. This is harder than it looks. Here we go. Get some more. Now here we go. I think it's like coffee, but coffee with soda, whatever. Coffee soda. That can go right here. And that's the second thing. The third thing, got some freaking popcorn from Ireland. Yeah, Irish popcorn. I guess you can probably already tell what it is. So let's dive deep into it. It seems okay. Pretty great than usual. Now, we're going to get into the physical stuff. Let's get ready to rumble. So, the three that you saw were just miscellaneous stuff. Now get into a real physical stuff right here. And inside this bag, you probably already know that I saw one episode of this particular series. You already know what it is. We have Bluey the freaking video game. Yes, they finally did it. They made a freaking game. I love the cover art as well because it's basically them trying to catch a balloon or whatever. Look at Bandit's face right there on the cover. As you can clearly tell, he's really getting into it. And you got the back right there. Probably know what episode I basically watched. It's called The Sign. You all know the one with that famous scene where Bandit's like getting the sign out and throwing you onto the ground. Yeah, I was like, yes! When that moment happened. So what does the description say? For real life. Real life as always. Play a brand new story set across 4 interactive adventures, explore iconic locations, play your favorite games, including Keep Your Feet, Magic Cyclone, and more. Visit your favorite places like the beach and the creek. You can be Bluey, Bingo Jelly, or Bandit, and grab up to 3 mates to play with. Hooray. Crazy. It's for the Switch, so you mean it's gonna be crazy. Open it up and you get the cartridge, which is upside down. But I'm gonna make it go upside down right here. You can see the cartridge there. And close it up. Now putting it in the bag because it's gonna be secretive. Also, if you wanna know what I got this, what date I got this. It was in the month of December of last year. The same month that I saw that god-awful Wonka film that Universal put out. Even though it was a Warner Bros. Film anyway. Oh, sorry, Warner Bros. Pictures film, because then your logo that came out with that classic reflection fanfare. That came out in June. It was 6 months late after the release of Wonka. Now you know why Jamal called me delusional. And speaking of Universal and Warner Brothers, you know that this is coming. It has all come to this. You probably already know I freaking love this film. It is my favorite film of all time. 1996, it stars Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, directed by Jen DeBont, executive produced by Steven Spielberg, co-produced by Amblin Entertainment and Constance C, with a script by freaking Michael Crichton, Anne-Marie Martin, Steve Zalian, Jeff Nathanson, and Joss Whedon, and it's 113 minutes long, and it has the best ending of all time. What is it? T-W-I-S-T-E-R. Freaking Twister is in the house. Finally, about time. It is about time we finally have Twister. I have mentioned this film already. I loved it. What is with this cover anyway? Finally, this film, but the cover is just weird. It's a Spanish cover art, but translated in English. And it's a special edition, so you probably already know what I meant. I love this film. I mentioned this film a lot. The ending with the pipes is great. These pipes go down at least 30 feet. We ain't gonna do it, might get a chance. And that's Bill's line in the film. And Joe's all like, Bill! And they find the belt on the rack of belts there. Then they grab one, it's not good. And they grab one that's just fine. They strap themselves to it. And the belt goes, then Bill goes, they let the belt go over them. And they just, they strap themselves to it. And Bill's all like, hold on! And then the F5 comes in, rips the shed apart, and then bam, they're inside of the F5, and then Bill's all like, hang on, and then their legs are like going way up, they're like way up, and they're like dangling around, and you saw this F1 on the F5, and they're all just looking at it, and the F5 just goes all the way back, and then just disappears like a, yeah, you probably know what it meant. This is the film that actually has that scene. I mentioned this film a lot, and you probably already know about that one. The title logo is not in the actual film sequence anyway. Well, at least the actual title sequence of the film anyway, because This was the one that was shown in all the posters, all the trailers, all the TV spots. This was the logo right there. The actual film just used the block lettering. When the blue clouds coming in, you're spinning around, and you saw the credits going in, and then the title comes in, and then bam, there's the title logo in block lettering font. So, yeah. Apparently for some reason, PG, the film was PG-13, or an M is what it's called, or originally NRC. I mean, come on, when the heck do you ever see films that are rated NRC? Airplane was an NRC, and I hated that film. That film was god-awful, just like Wonka. But this is not god-awful. This is freaking amazing. But, yeah, I mean, come on. So, let's see if we can get a crack look at this. And if you're looking at this, thank you for watching the NTR Fork. I know that you already loved the film or hated it, but yeah, let's face it, that film took like I don't know, several years to make, like from 2016 and all that. That Egypt scene was from was it late 2016, early 2017? Yeah, who cares? Hopefully it's not gonna be like Sausage Party where I'm gonna do some editing here and there. And see, no editing. Unlike Sausage Party where I do some editing. There's the cover art, which is the Spanish cover art, translated into English. Notice how it says Special Edition, and it has the original PG rating, not NRC, like what Airplane had. PG. Parental guidance recommended persons under 15 years. Medium level violence, medium level coarse language. I mean, it's not like when the film came out in the US, it had the rating of PG-13 for intense depiction of very bad weather. That is the actual rating disclaimer when this film originally came out in '96. And you got the back right there, which of course features the secondary poster artwork, which features the F3 destroying the farmhouse with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton in their Joe and Bill characteristics running away from it, and I think Bill's shirt does not look right there, because it features Bill Paxton's shirt flipping around with his tank top showing up. Like, do you ever think that Bill Paxton's shirt would have flipped around with his tank top being shown? I mean, it is based around the F5 scene when they're running out of the farmhouse, and you know the lines, my God, who are these people? And then Bill's like, I don't think so. And then the knives come flying out of the barn's window and keep stabbing the wood part thing there. And then they get out of the barn, and then the F5 just destroys the farmhouse. That was before they get into the shit thing, and then the piece of the farmhouse get flown over Joe and Bill, and well, you know. And what's the description say? Yeah, we got the film logo there. The one that was not shown in the actual film was shown in like the trailers, posters, everything. Like the poster that this was the secondary poster. This was not the original poster. The original poster had the F3, same one that's in this, but the whole image is completely different. It doesn't even feature Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton. It doesn't even feature the farmhouse. It features the truck pulling to a stop. So what does it say right here? In this adventure, swirling with cliffhanger excitement and also special effects, Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton play scientists pursuing the most destructive riverfront to sweep through Mid-America's tornado. The most destructive riverfront to sweep through. Let me start back again. In this adventure, swirling with cliffhanging excitement and also special effects, Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton play scientists pursuing the most destructive riverfront to sweep through Mid-America's tornado alley in 50 years. The beginning of the film says June 1969, and then it goes 27 years later into the freaking future. Like, what was it? Like, Back to the Future? You know, the one film that had that iconic poster that shows, I don't know, Marty, George, and Lorraine's shoes? By launching electronic sensors into the funnel, you mean Dorothy? The storm chasers hope to obtain enough data to create and improve the warning system, which they did in the actual film at the end. But to do so, they must intercept the Twister's deadly path that chases on. And it's literally just the same description from the Warren Home video release. The only thing that's missing is the tractors fall like rain, the house comes apart, or whatever. And we got the bonus material. We have commentary by director Jan de Bont and visual effects supervisor Steven Fangmeyer, who of course directed Aragon. Documentary with the making of Twister, this is actually the HBO First Look thing, which actually reveals how they actually made the scene where they go inside of F5. It is revealed to be a giant freaking hamster wheel. Then we got featurette anatomy of a Twister from the 2000 Warner Home Video release. Then we got the music video for Humans Being, which, of course, let me get that. The track Humans Being, that with the music video is on this, appears in 5-minute form on Best of Van Halen Volume 1, and it is track number 15, and it is the one that's on the soundtrack, the one that had this image on the front cover. Yeah, this record is amazing, and this is the one that started the soundtrack. If you want to know what the opening track of the new one was, it was Ain't No Love in Oklahoma by Luke Combs, which was released as a single, and it did have a video to go along with it, with clips from the new one coming in. I'll tell you about the new one coming in. But it's actually great. And it does feature the theatrical trailer, and all that's got subtitles. The commentary's got subtitles, documentary of the making of has subtitles, featurette has subtitles, theatrical trailer has subtitles. The only thing that's missed, the music video does not have subtitles. Like, we already know what the song is like. I mean, the other features that are missing are that History Channel thing or whatever. Oh my god, I can't forget about the History Channel featurette. The Chasing the Storm Twister Revisited. I can't forget about it. It's got History Channel documentary, Chasing the Storm, Twister Revisited, Taken by the Wind, The Legacy of Twister, which is on the 4K release from Warner Home Video, and what was it? Oh, and the frickin' teaser trailer that had the 1969 flashback scene, you know, the one where Joe's father gets taken away by a frickin' F5. But they didn't even show him getting taken away by the F5. It just shows bits and pieces of the opening flashback or whatever. But, yeah. Yeah, and it says, now featuring awesome bonus footage. Say what you will, the film was 113 minutes. In fact, there actually was a version of this film that's, 108 minutes? What is this? Did they add a nightmare scene that featured Joe flashing back to various points in time? Because that's what IMDb is. So what do we have? Subtitles with English deaf and the hard of hearing. Languages in both English in 5.1 and 5.1 DTS. That's weird. Then it's in 245.1 and for widescreen. Yes, I've seen it in both aspect ratios. One that's in 16:9. The other one is in 245:1 widescreen. And it's regions 2 and 4 with PAL. And it's distributed by... God, what is this? AIDS? Did Freddie Mercury make this thing? It stands for All Interactive Distribution. What the hell is All Interactive Distribution? And you got 2 Universal brand logos. Now, unlike the one for Double Dragon, we got the normal version of the Universal brand logo. And it's the one from 97. Kind of odd. And it's got the original PG, barcode, whatever the heck that is. They legally created Warner Bros. For some reason. Even though Warner Bros. Is not on the frickin' thing. Open it up. And the disc art is basically upside down, but I can clearly show it to you here. Disc art is basically just a zoomed in version of the Spanish cover art. Let me tell you, this film is, I'm gonna say in the choice of language, fucking amazing. Yes, I said it. I literally said it. There are two parts in this film that I felt are just not good. The opening flashback scene where Joe and her family are running away from their house as an F5 comes tearing down. They get into a shelter. They get Toby into the shelter, which is their dog, by the way. And apparently the shelter door gets creaked open multiple times, and then Joe's father gets right at the door. He holds onto the door, and then bam, the F5 just rips the door open. It carries Joe's father with him, and certainly Joe, played by Alexa Vega, runs up to the thing, is about to go up out of the shelter, and then her freaking mother, played by Rusty Schwimmer from The Little Princess, grabs her and protects her so she could not get out of the shelter in time. The second moment is when they're in the Pilot Mound, Iowa, when they're trying to get the Dorothy up into the freaking F3, which is the one that's in this image. They freaking Joe and Bill bicker and argue about Joe's father's death and freaking like the storm going through here to there, where Joe refers to as like, you never see him miss this house, miss this house, and come after you. And Bill's all like, Christ, Joe, is that what you think it did? And Joe's all like, I don't know. And she just walks away. She turns around and walks away. And Bill's like, Christ, Joe, can't you just forget about it? And then Joe's all like, look, you wouldn't even understand. You wouldn't even know. And then Bill's like, shit, what does he say? He's all like, where's it gonna be now? How close are you gonna get to it? And he turns Joe around. He's like, tell me. And he's like, things go wrong. You can't explain it. You can't predict it. I'm sorry your father died, but that was a long time ago. You gotta move on. Stop living in the past and look what you got right in front of you. And Joe's like, what are you saying? And Bill's like, me, Joe. And all that is heard in front of a CB radio where Melissa, played by Jamie Gertz from The Lost Boys, is like hearing all over this, and she literally puts down her umbrella and does this sad look. And it cuts the cars driving in a long line, and I'm like, really? Do they have to do this? I mean, it's called Twister. The film's really called Twister, like it says right there at the frickin' top. What the heck does that mean? But at last we did get that important scene with the drive-in, which is part of the second, which is like the most, the entirety of the second trailer is literally the drive-in scene with that, it's coming, it's headed right for us, and Bill's like, it's already here, and he like turns around to everyone's like, everybody get on the ground now, and they're getting out of the cars, and freaking Shining's playing and all that. I've seen The Shining back in 2014, and it was in 4x3. And this film is, how can I say about this? It's great. But actually really great. Even more great than frickin' Airplane. Airplane is the worst film ever made. Airplane 2, the sequel, is better. And that film had that iconic poster with the space shuttle tied in, with the wings tied into knot, and a bunch of other people just grabbing hold of it. And they're in space. And like, this is the most important thing ever made. This is the important film that saved the film industry. This was so good, it turned Airplane into dust. Like at the end of Avengers Endgame, that grueling 3-hour film that I saw back in the theater, when Stark was all like, when Thanos was all like, I am inevitable, and he has like Infinity Gauntlet, and he tries to snap, but there's no Infinity Stones on the gauntlet. Stark has the Infinity Stones or gems or whatever, and the gems go right up into the thing there, and he's like, and I am Iron Man, and he does a snap thing, flashes to white, and Thanos' army just completely gets wiped out to dust. Or that bit in Infinity War when Thor sees Thanos about to die, he's all like, you should have aimed for the head, and then he does a snap, and he sees young Gamora in the Red River, which originally in the Endgame, there was going to be a scene where Stark meets a adult version of her daughter, but that scene was cut, according to Disney Deluxe or whatever, the Disney Deluxe print. I know a lot of people say, don't you mean Disney Plus? No. It's called Disney Deluxe, and it's only called Disney Deluxe. But when, so it's like, Thanos a snap, he meets a younger version of Gamora, and after that, everything else just gets wiped away. And I thought, and that moment when Bucky turned to dust, I thought, oh, Bucky, you just got fall down a bunch of leaves. But nope. Apparently everyone got turned into dust. Because Thanos did the snap, he wiped out half of the entire universe, and that would lead into Endgame. And freaking god-awful Ant-Man the Wasp completely referenced Infinity War in the after credits scene where like, don't get sucked into the time vortex, and he gets into the freaking, and Scott Lang just gets into the subatomic realm, the quantum realm, whatever the heck that is, and he basically witnesses the whole snap thing and sees that everyone is gone. Who cares? Damn it, Paramount, why the hell do you have to make Airplane? But, yeah, this film is the legend that started it all. A legend that clearly began and it still goes on for 28 years until a certain film you already know called Twisters had just came out. Yes, I actually did see it, and it's really freaking good. Just like this film. That was long. That was freaking long, all because I had to talk about this film, because this is the one that became true. This is better than Airplane. Airplane is the worst. Done. I'm dealing with this. So to recap, Pink Floyd poster, truly okay. Popcorn from Ireland, looks pretty okay. Coffee soda seems a bit weird. The freaking Bluey game, which is going to be amazing because I had to watch one episode of Bluey called The Sign. And hopefully I might play this thing for some reason. And the greatest film of all time ever made in history. Take that, Airplane. Twister is the real king right here. And Twisters, even though that film hasn't come out from Universal, it only got a freaking digital release. There you go. Yeah, Twisters is actually pretty good. And then the second one comes along. And it was even more awesome. Like, hold up. Okay. Remember when people thought that Into the Storm was considered a sequel to Twister? You know, this film, and we have that for 8 disappointingly solid years until Universal, the company behind this, who put it out internationally, said, you know this? Do you remember Into the Storm? The one that was considered to be a sequel to Twister? Well, guess what? We're going to make an actual sequel to Twister. A true sequel to Twister that is not this. And this became obsolete when the Twister Legacy sequel was announced. And originally, it was not going to be like that. It was not going to be a Legacy sequel. Originally, it was going to be a remake to this. Yeah, a remake to the first film. I would watch it. And it was supposed to come out in 2022. But for some reason, Jessica Kaczynski, who directed Oblivion, Tron Legacy, Top Gun Maverick, all that, left the project. Frank Marshall stayed. Sarah Scott was like, nope. All the writers that are going to be attached to it were like, nah, we're not going to be involved with this, because this is great. You cannot tarnish with it. And all of a sudden, out comes Lee Isaac Chung, who directed Minari, that episode of Mandalorians on Disney Deluxe, came on board, and it's like, we'll do a sequel to this. And what do they call it? What do they call it? Twister with an S. He called it Twisters. Finally, a legacy sequel to Twister announced by Universal. As in the company who gave us this. Now do you see what it all means? I mean, you probably know that this film is iconic. And guess how much it made? $495 million. $495.7 million. That's how epic this film is. It was so epic, it nearly beat an Airplane's box office of $171 million. Yeah, even the film that had that terrifyingly scary poster of a plane tied in a knot couldn't even escape the power of this film. And if you think that Into the Storm was considered a sequel to this, I mean, come on. Can you imagine? Twister comes out in 1996, did really well, they did Into the Storm, then they did Into the Storm, and they thought that was the sequel to Twister. But it's not. Instead, we got this. And it was really freaking good. Let me tell you, this film is amazing. But this, even though I haven't seen it, and I've seen the trailers for it, look way crazier. And yes, this is an addition with the teaser poster, with the actual film logo that we saw. Because in the original teaser poster, it's in the same font as the Columbia TriStar Home Entertainment logo. But they used the font from, like, the later marketing or whatever. Even Twister had the same title font and everything. If you compare this to this, they're basically the same, but they're completely different. Twisters was the same as this. So, yeah, apparently, if you want to put this on the shelf, this is what it looks like on the spine. The Twister one looks amazing. And this one looks really odd. It's not consistent, but yeah. But anyways, this is the real King. This is what was considered to be a sequel. And this is the actual sequel. So I'm going to have to say this. This was considered a sequel. But it was not, because this literally got a sequel. And let me tell you, this film is crazy. And I loved it. So much so, I'm like, I'm gonna parody the hell out of this. I love this film. I don't like Airplane. I'm gonna rip the hell out of those. This film is amazing. And Twisters is also amazing. Both of them are amazing. Hope to God I'm gonna get Twisters from Universal. Maybe I'm gonna get the Warner Home Video one, not sure. This is actually pretty good. God, it went way too long because this, I have to talk about this for so long. I'm like, it's a pretty good film. Pretty good film. And Twisters, whether you like it or not, it's got Glenn Powell in it. And Glenn Powell's freaking awesome. The moment when I saw the first trailer to Twisters back in February, I was all in for it. Then when the second trailer came out in May, I'm like, heck yeah, I'll see that, because it's going to return of the pipes. Then the TV spot came along during the airing of this, and like finally a TV spot for a film that's completely related to what we're watching. And the teaser was basically just a condensed version of the first trailer. Then I saw the freaking video. Then I saw the freaking video for Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. That was actually really good. Luke Combs can do pretty good stuff. And then the film came out, like, it was really sudden. It came out in July. For some reason, it premiered on the 8th in London. And then it came out on the 10th in Indonesia. And it came out over here on the 11th. And I saw it on the 14th. This was a week before the US release. And the version I saw had the Universal logo at the beginning. This was the one that completely became true. I love this film. I love the sequel. I hate Airplane. I love Airplane 2, the sequel. This is the one that completely made me want to believe in stuff like this. This was my favorite film of all time. Chicken Run was my favorite animated film of all time, and I'm gonna remake the hell out of that. In fact, I've already did all the stuff right there. It's completely dormant. I'm gonna bring it back. But, I mean, come on. Twister is a film that I loved. I love this film. And to you, freaking Jacob Harvey, who saw the end of your arc, yes, this is also a film. Yeah, I'm right. And Jacob Harvey might be right. I've heard his constructive criticism. So, there's your constructive criticism right there, Jacob. This film is this constructive criticism. Look at it. This is the best film ever made. But anyway, it is basically what it is. But this film is iconic. I love this film so much. And this title font doesn't, even though it doesn't even appear in the film, in the actual film on screen, it did appear in the Legacy sequel, Twisters. You know, after Kate Cooper walks away from the grassy field and all that, this title font appears from, like, when it fades out from the sky. Great title sequence from either Antenna Creative or Prologue or something. Fun fact: the title sequence of this film was made by the same design agency who did the title sequence to Superman. You know, the one film where Superman's like screaming from the heavens after witnessing Lois Lane's death, flying around the air, going backwards, and make sure that Lois Lane is back to life. I ripped off that scene in Dangerous the Last Man Standing, and heck, that scene in Dangerous the Last Man Standing was way better than what Superman did. And you know what the fun thing is? The month that The Last Man Standing came out, and several days after that came out, Richard Donner, who directed Superman 78, passed away. So now I can finally rip off that scene from Superman all over. Because, yeah, and because of this film is great. All that. Yeah, in fact, back in 2016, I tried to redo this. And nowadays it does not look good, and it got obsolete because of the new one. The actual new one. Yeah, you probably even know that I had to deal with this film, because this film is amazing. Brilliant, amazing, iconic, very great, but it's the best film ever made. And I couldn't even say it any more than that. Oh my god, that was a long, long lecture. Because I had to talk about this film because I actually love this film. Brilliant film. And I mean, come on. Come on. You cannot fault this film. Except for the nostalgia critic. I mean, come on. Come on, Doug. Really, really, really nostalgia critic. You gotta have to give praises to this film. This film is amazing. And the effects on this look pretty amazing. I mean, Twisters had even more effects than usual. And let's face it, Twisters was directed by a foreigner that was shot on 35mm, was filmed in Oklahoma, was going to be shot in the LA, and was distributed by both Warner Bros. Pictures and Universal, and co-produced by Amblin, and apparently had visual effects done by Industrial Light and Magic. You know, the same effects company who did Star Wars Episode 4: New Hope. You know, the one from 1977, the one that had that trailer from 1976. Well, pretty much is all that, because Twisters was directed by a foreigner, was co-produced by Amblin, distributed by both Warner Bros. Pictures and Universal, was shot on 35mm, was going to be filmed in LA, then became filmed in Oklahoma, and then it had visual effects done by Industrial Light and Magic. Wait a second. A film that was directed by a foreigner, that's been co-produced by Steamboat Company, then got distributed by not one but two companies, was going to be shot in LA, then got filmed in Oklahoma, had visual effects done by Industrial Light and Magic, and wait a second. This is the first film all over again. Twisters was directed by Lee Isaac Chung. This film was directed by Jen DeBont. Both of them were distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures and Universal. Both of them were co-produced by Amblin. Both of them was going to be shot in LA, then got filmed, but it was actually filmed in Oklahoma. Both of them had visual effects done by Industrial Light and Magic, and both of them are freaking great. I can keep talking about this all day. This film is amazing. Like, really amazing. Can you even understand how awesome this film is? I literally got in my hand the Twister right there. Like, it even says it at the top. You know, it says it at the top, spine, and the freaking back with the secondary poster art. It's not the original poster art, but I dropped point to a stop, but it's a freaking okay looking poster and all that, but yeah, it's really odd seeing Bill Paxton's shirt flapping around, revealing his tank top or whatever. I mean, it's not like you're seeing his bare back in the F5 scene when they're strapped to a pipe or whatever. Yeah, that actually happened, by the way. That actually happened. If you've seen that particular scene where they're strapped to a pipe, you'll know that Bill's shirt did reveal his bare back. And just like Basic Instinct, you know I'm gonna have to do it. Freaking Jan DeBont got involved. And not only that, 1, 2, 3, 4 Jan DeBonts. Nothing on the inside there. And when this originally came out? 2007. So we have a 2007 disc. Oh, a 2024 release. It's kind of look like the other one, I think, but it's Twister. You know that I love this film. I still feel odd about this cover because let's face it, either the one with the one where the truck is pulling to a stop, or this, you know this is gonna be pretty good. I've seen this film a lot, like a freaking lot. You know that this is iconic, pretty good, pretty amazing. Twisters was amazing. And I love that film. Freaking Daisy Edgar Jones, Anthony Ramos, Glenn Powell, all that. But freaking David Superman Corn Sweat. I can't wait to see him in Superman Legacy next year. I hope he doesn't fly around the earth like what Christopher Reeve did. But yeah, this film is freaking great. Done and all. Freaking period. Universal just went nuts. They went nuts. They put up Cats, which I haven't seen in the theater. I've watched it on the TV. It was really freaking great, despite the fact that a lot of people freaking hated it. They put out Wonka, which I hate. Then they did the marketing for this. And then I saw this. And for some reason, Universal just snapped, put out a special collector's edition of this film, which I know I'm gonna get. And for some reason, they snapped again and put this edition out. Friggin' amazing. Thank you, Universal Studios, for having us completely believing in this film. And thank you for putting this film out and making it exist so that we can ignore this. Yeah. This film clearly exists so we can ignore frickin' Airplane. So, yeah. You can clearly tell why I love this film and I hate Airplane. I hate Airplane because frickin' Leslie Nielsen's in it. Otto was the worst prop ever. The landing scene is terrible. The ending credits are terrible with the font that's been shown like freaking everywhere. And yeah, I hate that film. And the plane does not tie into a freaking. It's just a toy plane. It's just a toy plane model, held by wires or strings or whatever. And freaking Highlander from 1986, released by 20th Century Fox, had better wire work. Like, particularly in the quickening scene, where God just had the blue swirl stabbed around in his frickin' chest. And gets grabbed by a biological hand, lifts him up and all that. That had better wire work than frickin' Airplane. This does not have any wire work. Well, sorta did with like the tanker truck before it like explodes or whatever. And yeah. Not to mention, they went inside of a frickin' gimbal, which is basically a hamster wheel. They were inside of a freaking hamster wheel. This film is what I consider to be the greatest. And I do say this, the greatest of all time. That is my one per list, and that is the one thing I can clearly say that this film is without doubt the best that I have ever seen. Take that, Airplane! You stupid idiot! Jim Abrahams, David Zucker, Jerry Zucker, Paramount, Michael Eisner, Jeffrey Katzenberg. You can all go to hell, because this exists. This film. I absolutely love this film. Like, I can clearly tell everything about it, but yeah, this film's freaking great. You know, Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, Jimmy Garrett's Carrie Elwes. Carrie Elwes is in Hot Shots, by the way. You know, the fucking Jim Abrahams parody, like, you know, Airplane meets Top Gun. Or as known in other countries, Top Gang, because that's what Hot Shots was. Hot Shots was called Top Gang in certain parts of the globe. But, not like Airplane was, like, renamed to Flying High. Yeah. And apparently this film was originally called, get this, Catch the Wind. Oh, sorry. It was originally called, get this, Catch the Wind and Wind Devils. Yes, this had two original titles. And it was not like freaking Airplane, where it's like, you know, at one point it was originally going to be called The Late Show, the other one's going to be called Kentucky Fried Peter Presents Airplane, or the other one's going to be called Kentucky Fried Airplane. But yeah, this is literally quite odd in the history of film. This is what led to the disaster genre craze. Yes, this actually revived the disaster genre of the 90s. Like the first disaster film we got was from the 70s was like freaking Airport. Not to be confused with Airplane. From the same company who put out this. And apparently all the other elements from Airport were being put into Airplane. As well as Zero Hour. Which Airplane clearly took as the basis for the script. But they're like, oh wait, this script has other lines from Zero Hour. We don't want to get sued. So what do? They bought the rights to Zero Hour. And they're like, good. Now we can finally make frickin' Airplane. And sure enough, they made the absolute worst film of all time. And this right here, this can be iconic. Have you noticed that this film led to a freaking court case? Yeah, this film led to a court case. And apparently what happened was that, Stephen Kessler, who was the story writer, clearly claimed that this film actually stole elements from his script, which was called Catch the Wind. And then freaking Michael Crichton and Ray Martin, who basically decided to inspire this, base this of other freaking other things. One was a storm chasing program. The other one was a film called His Girl Freaking Friday. And so with the storm chasing thing and then His Girl Friday, all that turned into this. And this film also led to some made-for-TV efforts, like Night of the Twisters, featuring that one guy from Final Destination in Casper called Devon Sawa, and freaking Idle Hands, and the Bruce Campbell one called Tornado, which is odd. It's a ripoff of this. And speaking of ripoffs to this, haven't you all heard of a ripoff called Sharknado? Twister meets Jaws. This and Jaws. Yeah. So you got Twister, which came out in '96. Then the same year they did Night of the Twisters. And also that same year, Tornado came out. And in 2013, Sharknado was released. They didn't have the exclamation point on the title, just like Airplane. By God, that image, that cover image was the very first thing that I think of when I think of this film. Pretty much iconic, pretty great, looks pretty great. The first moment I saw it, I'm like, what the heck are they doing? But yeah, you probably know that this exists. But you gotta say, this film is an instant classic. You cannot fault this thing at all. And you probably even know, this thing is basically not a sequel to Twister. It is considered a sequel to Twister for like 8 freaking years. Until Universal was like, this is obsolete, do an actual sequel to Twister. So, yeah. So yeah, both Twister and the Legacy sequel, Twisters, are actually really freaking good. Both of them are good. I absolutely love these two. Make a third one, Universal. Come on, I don't know. Universal, Warner Bros., Amblin, freaking Domain Entertainment. Who the heck is Domain Entertainment anyway? I don't know. But, yeah. Twisters and Twister are actually really freaking good. I mean, it's like, both of them, the freaking Twister duology is like the all-time favorite duology. Like, if they make a trilogy, I will be down for that. Hey, if Paramount can make Airplane 3 the prequel, then I will accept it. At least the poster didn't even have a freaking plane in a knot. But yeah, this is really good, and this is also really good, and both of them together are actually really good. This is on my list of, this is my #1 favorite film of all time. This is along with, Chicken Run, Road to El Dorado, Flushed Away, Crystal Were Rabbit, and Airplane 2, the sequel, Disaster Movie from 2009. Yeah, a lot of people hated Disaster Movie, but I love Disaster Movie. She was a national treasure. Great film. And Head On, apply directly to the forehead. Yeah, what do you mean by head on? See, yeah, alright. See, head on. Like, that. And freaking cliffhanger. Fetch! Like that line. And Cats and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3: The Dream Warriors. You know I love that. And this was the start of a brand new thing. And where it was like, oh yeah, this basically rejuvenated the disaster genre. Like, the first film was like freaking Airport, and the last one that came out from that era was When Time Ran Out. Yeah. And it's like right around the same time when Airplane came out. It ended with the last two, Airplane and When Time Ran Out. And for some reason, 1996 came around, this came out, and it all led to the slew of disaster films like Volcano, Dante's Peak, which was made by the same company who did this. And then you got Armageddon, which actually features a poster for this film, because they let you know that, hey, this exists. Because it's like Michael Bay clearly tells you, hey, just let you know, this exists. And then they're all like, and then there's The Day After Tomorrow, which apparently was actually a Paramount film, not a 20th Century Fox film. It was a Paramount film. It's like freaking Wizard of Oz was considered a Warner Bros. Pictures film, not an MGM film. But I consider it an MGM film because it's got the freaking MGM logo at the beginning. What the absolute freaking hell? And like, thank God it didn't plaster it with the Art Deco shield anyway. And this is freaking great. I absolutely loved it. So my final thoughts on Twister. Absolutely amazing. Well, not that, but absolutely freaking amazing. Yeah, I can clearly tell it all the time. And you probably already seen the part from this film where they're attempting to get the Dorothy up into the F5. They finally did, and they're succeeding with and Dusty Phillips and Hawkins all like, Dorothy's flying, she's flying, and Gru all celebrating, and like, we're gonna be very popular. It's Christmas time, we're gonna get ratings, and then like the F5s just course around them, and Haynes all like, my God, it's shifting northeast, and that's when they're all like, it's like, hey Joe, Bill, you guys should get out of there. Like, you need to get out of there real quick. Come on, can you hear me? Do you copy? And that came from this film. And Bill's all like, oh no, when they seen the F5, tearing out the freaking cornfield like children corn or whatever. And Bill's all like, run, and they do that Field of Dreams. If you build it, he will come. I was thinking of Kim Costner will show up, but nah, who cares? And they get into the farmhouse. Yeah, we all know that. They get into the farm. They go into this abandoned shed, and then they start some survival about. You all know that. And they basically decide, what we should do? We should start a freaking lab. No, you do the analysis. I'll run the lab. You run the lab? I don't think so. Yeah, pretty much the classic film that everyone knows. Everyone has a VHS of it from Warner Home Video, which came out in October. This is the classic that everyone remembers. I love this film. You loved it. I just couldn't get enough of it. Thank you. And I mean, come on. This film is amazing. But this edition is just... the cover looks odd. I mean, the back cover features the secondary poster artwork. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're going to get another release of this. Hopefully, if someone sent it to me, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Me, Big Boy, even. But this is considered a classic. I love this film so much that I'm like, this is the highlight of my dreams. And as for Twisters, wow, what a freaking awesome film. I mean, I saw this in the theater, and you can tell me, I absolutely adore this film. Right from the opening Universal logo. Yes, I saw the US version. Right from the opening Universal logo, and the whole opening logo of Universal, the one from 2012, you all know that, the one without the 100th anniversary disclaimer, the Warner Bros. Pictures logo, the god-awful one, not the god-awful one, but the alright one from Wonka, which is god-awful, and and that stupidly awful Amblin Entertainment logo from Jurassic World. And thank God that it got destroyed by a bunch of Stormclouds in that one. Just thank God they clearly destroyed the logo for us. I'm like, I thought it was going to destroy the logo. But then the Stormclouds came in, and I'm like, thank God. We will never have to see that logo ever again. Please go back to the 1985 one. They'll seem like, E.T. or Super 8 or Monster House or Legend of Zorro or whatever, like Jurassic Park 3. Sticker Unicorn. All that. And then it goes to the opening scene. Where Kate Cooper was like, she had this whole team comprised of Jeb, Addie, and Praveen. And they were like, we're going to do the combo thing of like Sodium Polyacrylate and the Dorothy. They had a Dorothy 5. Same Dorothy that was in this film. The same Dorothy that was in this. And then they basically had this trailer with the Sodium Polyacrylate and then the Dorothy 5. But you've seen this in the trailer. They basically said this whole thing. They succeeded, but then it goes into an F5. So they drive away, and then they drive away, and so it goes into an F5. And the car's like rattling, all that. They pull to a stop. The car's all like rattling. They're like, oh my god, this car's gonna fly. Get out there. And they get out of the freaking car. They go into a freaking overpass, which you saw in the trailer. And they get into an overpass. And freaking Addie and Praveen got sucked into an F5 even more. And I freaking love that part even more than the freaking opening flashback scene from the first one. And so Addie and Praveen get sucked in. And Jeb's like taking care of freaking Kate Cooper, and then Jeb gets sucked away. Kate Cooper witnesses it, and she's hanging over there like you see this in the trailer. She basically cowers in fear and all that, and then the Winfield gets covering, almost covering her, and then you see Kate Cooper being traumatized, and you saw all the devastation and the damage that it took, and it goes to like. After that moment when it gets such in the F5, I literally went, oh my god, and then like, yeah, you probably know that this is a big thing, and the moment, and then it goes to 5 years later, which that was a freaking awesome time jump anyway. Way more better than Avengers Endgame, and that god awful Fantastic Four film, which had that scene involving the Thing confronting Reed Richards in the freaking forest. So this is where your hideout is. Like, I don't know, bang! God, that scene. That scene is horrible. And, that scene is horrible in Fantastic. I cannot wait for the new Fantastic Four film from 20th Century Fox called First Steps, coming next year. The same year as Superman Legacy. And it goes to 5 years later when you go to the NOAA office in New York City, which was played by Oklahoma City, which was portrayed by Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is New York City. And so Kate Cooper was like studying there, and he meets up with Javier Rivera about this whole, storm power thing, and then the whole, going to Oklahoma, but in Kate's like, nope. And then she basically gets in bed, and she gets haunted by Jed from the opening scene. And Kate clearly finds this news report of the damage that it took. And Javi's all like, we need your help. We need you to get to Oklahoma. And Kate, who originally denies it, accepts it, goes to Oklahoma, and meets up with freaking Tyler Owens and his crew. And Tyler Owens is basically this live streamer thing and all that. And he basically just does all these live stream things. And so every time when Kate and Javi chase a freaking storm, Tyler Owens would just ruin his day, freaking Toy Story style. You're like, you are a toy, that part. And they basically just chased through a bunch of other storms, and a freaking Crystal Springs got obliterated. And before that we got the whole we got twins. You saw it in the trailer, and you saw that bit in the trailer where Tyler's like, if y'all feel it, and then the crowd, the people are going like chase it, and so it's like, It's like, if you feel it, chase it. I said, if you feel it, chase it. That one with the ain't no love in Oklahoma. That part when they're driving all the way in. Because you remember in the second trailer, when Tyler Owens is shown, there's a whole scared of nothing and I'm scared of death, and then you get Tyler Owens' dialogue in it, and then it goes and it goes into the I can't breathe but I catch my breath, and then it goes into the next particular scene. And what and he has his decked out truck. The truck is all decked up. Like, if you've seen the trailer, you know what it means. And then there's this one part in the second trailer, which is in the actual film, when freaking fireworks are shot at like the fireworks are shot in a storm, right? And you saw this in the trailer, and Keiko was all like, "Are these fireworks?" And like that part's like edited differently in the trailer, because when it shows, like, because in the trailer, like in the second trailer that Universal put out, it shows the fireworks going up into the tornado. It cuts the kid going, "Is that fireworks?" And it cuts to Tyler Owens in his car from a completely different scene saying, "Yes, sir." And Kate's all like, "Yeah, you probably know what it means." But then so freaking Crystal Springs gets obliterated by a storm or whatever. And it's like the whole Wakita thing from this film, the whole it's got to hit it's heading for Wakita, and so they get over to Crystal Springs Wakita style, and then they do this whole prophet thing. Tyler Owens and his crew are doing this whole prophet thing. Kate witnesses it, and they're doing this whole banter thing and all that. And like, yeah, who cares? So they get into this freaking hotel thing. So Kate goes to the hotel, and then you get this whole the "Hey, glad you're back. I'm not back." When I heard that line, I'm like, that's from this film. That's from the first film. That whole "glad you're back. I'm not back." That's from this film. And then they're like, so Kate goes to this hotel thing, and freaking Tyler Owens just knocks on the door. Officer, freaking pizza, and Tyler Owens just knocks over again and said, "Hey, do you want to come to our freaking rodeo in Stillwater?" And then Stillwater not to be confused with the Matt Damon film from DreamWorks SKG and Focus Features anyway. And I haven't seen that. Hopefully I might, and I will. Maybe I will not. So then they go to this rodeo thing. You saw us at the beginning of the second trailer. Then a freaking F4 comes in, obliterates the whole place. Kate's outfit is basically Joe's outfit from this film. When I saw that outfit, I'm like, was that Helen Hunt? I'm like, so Kate, who's basically dressed up like Joe Harding and Tyler Owens, basically go to this whole rodeo thing, and F4 obliterates the whole thing. You saw us in the second trailer. And so, like, the F4 basically just obliterates the whole rodeo thing. They get into this motel thing, and wait, was that James Paxton, son of Bill Paxton, in this thing? Like, he plays Cody, and he's this really disgruntled hotel thing or whatever. He's like, "You gotta believe this. There's this storm in here. You gotta have to get me out of this." And the hotel manager's like, "I can't help it. Nobody even cares." And there's this character called Kaylee who's like checking over her phone. It's like 9 times out of 10, it's a false alarm. There's no tornado. And Kate and Tyler just arrive at a freaking mother and a child. Like, who freaking cares? Like, haven't you seen the opening flashback to this film? Joe's father got taken away by an F5. And so they get into this motel. The motel gets like freaking destroyed by an F4. And that whole pit where the car gets flying into the freaking F4. Cody gets into the car, and the car just tries to drive away, but the F4 like takes it. And apparently that part was different from the trailer. In the trailer, Kate's all like, no, please stop, don't go. And then the F4 takes the car just spins around, like, and in the trailer, the car hits the sign and goes into the F4. In the actual film, the sign gets electrocuted, it just goes off, and the car just spins off and goes into the F4. Yeah, that's completely different. That's like when they edit out a bunch of scenes from Fantastic. The scenes that appear in the trailer that are not in the film. What about Power Rangers? The 2017 one from Lionsgate? So when I clearly knew about this scene, I'm like that's going to be a scene that's going to rule me out. So they get into this empty pole, and what was in that empty pole? If you remember from the ending of the first film, Joe and Bill go into an abandoned shed, and what was in that shed? Nothing but a pipe on the ground, and a rack of belts. In this one, we don't have a rack of belts. We could have an empty pole, but what did it have in that thing? Pipes. Lots of pipes, and you saw it in the trailer. Kate and Tyler are holding onto the pipes while a freaking tram thing gets closer and closer and closer. It's about to block the whole damn thing. So you get this one guy's like crawling into the empty pool, and Tyler's like trying to help him out, but then that guy gets wiped out, and that freaking tram thing crashes in front of Tyler. You saw this in the trailer, and then Tyler just crawls out to Kate, and they both hold on to the pipe, freaking Joan Bell style, without the belt, and that freaking tram just blocks the whole thing again, just like in the trailer. And then after that, the whole thing gets obliterated, and Jobby shows up out of freaking nowhere, and then what was his name? Freaking Kate and Jobby confront each other like freaking Joan Bill and the Hill. Yeah, right, Bill and Hill. And what's even weirder is that Bill is played by Bill Paxton. Bill plays Bill. It's like Jack Nicholson playing Jack in The Shining. Jack plays Jack. I don't care. And then Kate Cooper drives all the way to Sepulveda, and she basically meets her freaking mother, Kathy Cooper, played by Maura Tierney. That's pretty odd. That's an odd casting. Maura Tierney. Never seen Maura Tierney in anything. And freaking Tyler Owens shows up for a freaking visit. We go ahead like dinner, which is reminiscent to the whole steak and egg scene, and Aunt Mags. Then it gets into the whole, remember that time when Kate's all like naked and she saw like some storm cells coming in? That was basically reminiscent to the part in the first film where they say like, hey, Bill is naked, goes to a freaking storm, says have a drink, throws a drink into the tornado and never hits the freaking ground. And Bill's all like, this is a tissue of lies. There was another Bill, an evil one, and I killed him. And Dustin's like, this guy's awesome. And then you get and then Kate goes into this shed thing, and it shows us this whole middle school project thing because Jobby clearly tells Kate, your science project got 3 of those people killed. And Kate's all like, what the heck did you just say? And he drives all the way to the ball about, and then he goes into this shed thing, which is like a farmhouse thing or whatever. Then it shows like flashbacks of the freaking vlog thing with like the science project and all that, which is both like a freaking tornado just wrecking a freaking house model for some reason, like the house model from Beetlejuice. Cannot wait for Beetlejuice to come out. I'm sorry, not Beetlejuice. Can't wait for Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian to come out, and I'm ready to see that, because those trailers, I haven't seen those trailers, but I might check it out. So Kate goes to the shed thing, Tyler's basically there, and he's like, you basically saw this in the trailer, he's like, so you think you can disrupt a tornado, aren't you? And then he's basically going through all the files and everything. He's like, oh, so you're the OG tornado wrangler. You're like the original tornado wrangler. And Kate says something like, you basically saw this in the trailer. And Kate's like, you know what it is. You know what the point is. The thing that we can put it in the field. And in that particular moment, I did it wrong. In the trailer, like that dialogue thing, it's basically different in the trailer. Because in the trailer, she says it and in the moment, I did it wrong. But in the actual film is, and in the moment, I did it wrong. That's completely different from the trailer. And you get that shot from the trailer of Tyler in like the white shirt and the hat just walking to the car, and Kate for some reason changed her freaking mind, and it's like, yeah, I heard you're gonna do this whole thing and all that, and Tyler does Tyler's like, yes sir, and then that part in the trailer after when Kate goes, are these fireworks? So then Kate and the other ones so Kate and Tyler are basically looking at this laptop thing and like, so you think you can do this and this, like you have to the silver iodide. What the heck is silver iodide anyway? And you get Kate saying like, this line that we don't know from the trailer, maybe we didn't have a chance. And that's from this the line from Chicken Run after when Bunty's like a bunch of these other people are gonna escape like 1,000,000 to 1 or something else like that, and then Ginger's all like, and there's still a chance because this one's like, oh yeah, that reminded me of that bit from Chicken Run where Ginger's all like, then there's still a chance because yeah, we get that. And they basically did this whole thing and all that when they basically did this thing with like the whole they tried to do with another storm, but then there's someone walking by, and then and when they get inside an F5, when they get inside of a freaking storm, the F1 swirl that appeared inside of the F1 at the end of this film, that's in it. It's actually in it. And like the storm just passes by and all that, and you get that whole bit from the trailer where Tyler's like, oh my god, this is perfect, and Kate's holding up the camera and goes, yeah, it looks gorgeous. And you get, and like, well, that thing failed, so they're like, we're gonna get another data and all that. So they get data from Javi, who clearly tells them, yeah, I'm sorry about what happened, but I'm pretty sure you already know what actually happened. And they get this whole silver iodide thing again. What's with the silver iodide? And they get this whole big moment in freaking El Reno, which is where the 2013 incident happened. So they get into this whole hey, the storm's coming in El Reno. We need to get that thing already. And it's a freaking F5. An F5. The one is in this one, where unlike in this one, it's colored in black. But in this one, it's like freaking gray, shade of white or whatever. They basically, they're basically ready to go into this F5 thing. The F5 just freaking destroyed an oil chemical plant, which you saw in the ending of the second trailer, and they basically get into this chemical plant thing. Like the F5 just freaking explodes. It just explodes. You get this whole, climate change thing and all that. They didn't say it in the actual film, but we know it has climate change. You get this fire whirl from Into the Storm. And then the, what was it? So you get this fire whirl thing. They try to avoid it, and then basically, it goes into, Scott and Javi, confronting each other about this whole deal with, like, Marshall Riggs and all that. And Scott's like, no, you need to go that way, And Javi's like, nah, who cares, screw you. And then he basically leaves Scott behind and just drives off to El Reno. And then, and Scott gets mud in his shirt. And he's all like, you wouldn't get this, Javi, or something else like that. And then, they get into El Reno, and freaking Tyler almost gets his legs scrapped by an oncoming tram. Kate tries to help, and then freaking Javi shows up with like this wedge thing that he slots into it. And he's like, quick, we need to get into the theater now. And then they get into the theater, you all saw this in the trailer. And like the moment you all saw in the first trailer, Kate opens up the freaking door, and you see this F1 coming straight to them. And they're basically, Kate, Tyler, and Javi basically look at it like you saw it in the trailer, and you saw it as an image of the first trailer. And Kate's basically like, yeah, I can get out of this theater and get into Tyler's truck anyway, so I can face up against the F5 anyway. So she gets into Tyler's truck. She gets inside with an F5, and basically ignites the silver iodide but it struggles with the controls, and it successfully manages to deploy the sodium polyacrylate into the F5. And then Tyler's truck is clearly turned over and all that, and then apparently, while inside of the theater, which was showing freaking Frankenstein for some reason, the freaking Lily, played by Sasha Lane, gets like almost ripped apart out of Tyler's hands, and the swing gets ripped apart right when the Into Life scene came out, reminiscent of this film, when the F4 destroys the freaking theater, the drive-in theater, when the Here's Johnny scene from freaking The Shining plays in. And then the F5 just disappears. And Kid gets like injured and bloodied and bruised. He gets out of the freaking car and all that. And then Tyler, Gabby, and the others basically go over to Kate and they basically celebrate on what happened. And they shoot, I can't remember. And then it goes to a freaking airport. Is that Paul Scheer? Cause in the first film, Paul Scheer was a freaking embryo. His mother was in the film. And Paul Scheer was like the airport security guy, like, come on, it's a 5-minute area, you gotta leave. Aren't you gonna go or what? And then Tyler Owens literally uses the controls on his truck and drills into the freaking ground. Yes, Tyler Owens' truck is a freaking drill. Why can't Joe and Bill do that? I mean, I freaking Into the Storm, they basically had this whole sticks thing and all that in the freaking tank or whatever, and it basically sticks it to the freaking ground. Twisters is like, we can do that. We can do that with a freaking drill. And so they drill into the freaking ground. Tyler goes over to Kate. And like before that, Kate clearly tells Tyler, if you feel it, you should chase it. Because Javi just drops Kate Cooper off at the airport. She's about to go over to New York City about the New York business plan and all that. And then so Tyler goes over to Kate and basically had this embracement thing and all that. And there was going to be a scene of them kissing, but apparently they cut it out. So you use a shot where they don't kiss. Unlike in this film, where at the end of it, Joe and Bill do kiss. Because, and then it gets into the whole point of, the PA thing says, sorry, our flights are going to be delayed due to, severe storm warnings and all that. Yeah, take that, airplane, and your abortion jokes on the PA. You know what this is like. You want me to have a freaking abortion. Oh my god, stop it. And then, and then the film ends. You get the track called "And Kansas Anymore" with a closing montage. And you get the moment where Kate's like, would we like to have a face on my t-shirt? To have my face on t-shirt, because this whole thing about, Tyler's face on a t-shirt. Not my first tornado and all that. And Tyler basically, gives the shirt to Kathy Cooper. And, and he basically, and this British guy's like, you know what, I buy that shirt. And he goes to the end credits like, Jelly Roll check will leave the light on for me, that. And that's it. That's basically film. That's basically Twisters. That's like the greatest film of all time. It's freaking amazing. Like, it beats the crap out of everyone. Like Twisters is way better than Airplane. And this is a way better legacy sequel. Sorry, a way better sequel than freaking Airplane 2, the sequel. And yes, I do like Airplane 2, the sequel. Airplane 2, the sequel is amazing. This is also amazing. And this first film is also amazing. So both of them are amazing. So, yeah. I can't stop talking about these two films, but by God, it is amazing. Yeah. This film is freaking amazing. Thank you, Universal, for giving us all hope and all our faith into this particular film. Now I'm gonna have to wait until I see Wolverine and Asshole the third Deadpool film with that horrible, horrible, horrible car scene that features the you're the one from Greece. God. God, oh God, this is gonna suck. But you know what doesn't suck? This and this. They do not suck. They're really freaking good. Airplane sucks. Wonka sucks. Strike Forever After sucks. Blinky Bill the movie from 2015 sucks. These two do not suck. They are actually pretty good. So those are my thoughts on both Twisters and the first film that came before it, Twister from 1996. I've seen this film multiple times, and I've seen this in the theater. I've seen the duology. I've seen the Twister duology, and that is it. That's all I have to say about it. I am freaking done. I'm still gonna talk about them forever. This film was amazing. These two are amazing. And that's all I had to say. So, freaking farewell. And this film will live on in freaking film history. Twister is the king. Hold on and hang on. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. By the way, Bill Paxton tried to get a sequel to this off the ground. And even freaking Helen Hunt tried to get a sequel off the ground. But apparently the universe was like, nah, because apparently in Hunt's version of the sequel, Joe gets killed off. And the whole plot about this, Joe teaching a bunch of black students to actually shoot fireworks in the tornado, that happened in the new one. Apparently some of Hunt's idea just made into the final film or whatever. So there you go. You got this new Twister film and the original. So yeah. If you have to release a new one, which is actually coming out on digital, it came out on digital, and you got the first one, which is the best by far. My God, that's a long thing. So yeah, I can't stop talking about these. They're actually really good. And yeah, do me a favor, watch Twister first, then go see Twister, because get this, I am sick of both Endgame and Avatar being number one. Which is I want you to see this 50,000 times. You need to see this 50,000 times. And also after that, just watch this. Just watch the first one. In fact, watching this, maybe you want to watch the first one. And if I watch the first one, I'll watch this one. And if I watch this one, I'm going to watch this one. Then if I watch this one, I will watch this one. And I don't know which one I'm going to pick. Which one I'm going to pick, this or this. This film was amazing. And this film was also amazing, and I can't decide which one to pick. It's like Airplane and Airplane 2. Like, which one am I going to watch? Am I going to watch the airplane version, or I'm going to watch the Flying High version? Or I'm going to watch Die Glorreisen and Wachtumraumschiff, which is German for The Incredible Journey in a Crazy Spaceship. Yeah, you know what's going to happen. And this film and this film, both of them are great. They're brilliant. I love them. Check both of them out if you get the chance. And holy crap, this is going way too long. I'm about to end this thing, so thank God. If you want to send some stuff to me so I can check out what you have sent, please send it to this exact address. However, you may only send some stuff that I am interested in. No airplane, okay? Because if you send something like this, I will make sure that I will tell you that I do not like this film at all. So make sure you send stuff like this, or this, or this, or this. And yes, even Airplane 2 the sequel. Oh, and get this, a special collector's edition of Twister, complete with a steelbook that features not only the secondary poster artwork, but the image of the pipe scene on the back. Heck yeah, I'm getting this.
Excuse me, we actually did get an edition of Twister, which had this cover. But by God, I just want that special collector's edition so damn much! And also Airplane 2 the sequel, which had this cover. Just look at those nuts! I can't keep up with them all! And even the one in the original theatrical poster! Like, look at it! And just look at this poster for the worst film of all time! I mean, come on, do they really need to tie that plane up into another? I mean, that part never actually happened in the film! I mean, they clearly just used a toy model plane! Like, come on, really? And yes, this is what the plane actually looks like in the film. And here's another image of that same goddamn plane model, also from the film. God damn it, I hate this film. And its different titles, like this one known as Flying High, but I would refer to the film with this title. I just hated it so much. So make sure you send in to this address, and I hope to God I will look at them. And in the words of the good old immortal named Connor McLeod,
There can be only one.